What is up, and welcome back to the Tomahawk Talk podcast, the number one podcast for your Atlanta Braves. The Braves podcast brought to you for the fan, by the fan, presented by Chinook Seedery, the home of your 27 and 37, soon to be number one 2026 first round, first pick draft having Atlanta Braves. I am here, as always, with Ben and Ryan. Jose will be with us shortly, boys. Are you guys cookies or brownie guys?
God, it depends on the day, man. Like, personally, I like me a good cookie.
And Ryan fucking left. I hear you, Ben. I hear you.
I personally, like, people shit on crumble a lot, but I really like crumble.
Who is shitting on crumble?
Bro, people shit on crumble cookie, and I don't know why they do it, but they do. And they come out with some banger flavors. And the cakes, the little cakes, they had like a banana pudding cookie the other day. That shit slapped. It was so good.
I'm also a cookie guy, but I like me a good brownie every once in a while.
Hey, Carlos Narvaez. The Red Sox are about to take a series from the Yankees.
Good shit.
Let's go!
Ryan is back, finally. Still waiting to join.
Yeah,
we don't really have.
My internet's been wonky here since we had a storm, so we'll see how long I can last.
Yeah, you could say that about me too, being in the closet. Shout out to, I believe it was Blake.
Yeah.
Talking shit about me being in the closet.
I'm not gonna lie, Ryan. I thought you left just because of the question that Jet proposed, but honestly, I'd rather talk about.
Yeah,
there he goes.
Yeah, he fucking left again. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know who the fuck is shitting on crumble, but no. So to answer the question, I'm in my basement because we are house hunting right now, and currently are possibly in position of buying a house. So I am having to do the pod in my mother's basement.
Hell yeah.
Shout out, moms.
And the second part of that about me being filming in between the steering wheel and freezing every 3 seconds. I don't like to make the guys wait, and I ain't really got an office here right now. Today actually is going to be the last podcast that I do without my office. So I'm like stoked about that. I'll be able to set up my stuff, be good to go, and that way, from now on, I won't have to film between the steering wheel.
Look, I'm hoping this house happens because then I will have my own office and I will have a pod studio and I'll have all my shit going up and
there you go.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we're moving in September, so we still got a couple months, but
where are you moving to?
Back home.
Where is home?
Well, I don't want to dox myself.
Oh, well, I'm in like, never mind. Don't worry about it. Yeah, Atlanta is 10 games under 500 for, oh god, I don't even remember the last time they were 10 games under 500.
How about Arkansas absolutely fucking waxing Tennessee today?
I didn't watch. I don't hardly watch college baseball.
Talking about the Braves this podcast. I don't want to talk about those ugly motherfuckers right now.
So, in their last 17 games, you want to take a guess how many wins they have?
3.
Yeah.
Damn, that was a straight guess, but that's how many it's felt like they fucking won in 17 games. So,
yep,
hear me out, fellas. I found a way to make it enjoyable to watch them. Are you ready?
Take a shot every time they fuck up, or watch a cockeye fastball, or swing through a cockeye fastball.
Bro, don't even get me started on that fucking Ronald at bat in the 8th. Holy fuck.
Or take a shot every time they pan over to Snit just sitting on his ass after a
yawning.
I have come to expect absolutely nothing from them. I don't get hyped or nervous in any situation now. I just am like, okay, well, they're gonna get out, so just don't expect shit. And then when you do that and they do something good, you're like, damn, look at them go.
Bro, the Matt Olson 2 RBI double today was like, I thought it was great. I thought
he was going to strike out.
Yeah, no, I didn't think he was going to strike out. Okay, I thought he was going to get out,
For sure.
but when he hit
I
the
saw.
double, I was like, okay, cool, we're on a roll. And at that point, Strider had given up the run, but Spencer Strider looked sharp. He looked good up until that point, and then it was just downhill.
I feel like Spencer had a good first inning. What inning he give up the run? Was it? It was second inning, right?
For the one run, I think
Second.
was the second, and then the other two was the fourth. I
Yeah,
believe.
it's like good inning,
Yeah.
bad inning. Looked really good, then looked like shit, and then he looked all right for the rest of the game. It was an odd outing for Spencer.
I mean, but regardless,
It wasn't a bad start though.
you get three. Especially it wasn't a bad start coming off of the other starts that he's
It was
had.
better.
Like
Yeah.
this was probably his best he's looked since he's come back. But if you're the Braves, you have to be absolutely kicking yourself. You get 3 quality starts from your starting pitchers. Bryce Elder absolutely shoving it up their asses.
We can talk
and
about that
Big
in a little
Texas,
bit.
baby.
We can talk about that in a fucking little bit.
Bro, I posted it yesterday. He's literally, I think it was him and Javier Vasquez, a start in 09, were the only 2 instances of a stat line of that caliber in a single
Yep.
game.
Marble
And,
Mouth was trying to talk shit about Bryce Elder, and I fucking put him in his place.
Man, I ain't worried about that. But the offense goes out and lets you down. Who
Per
was it?
usual.
Game 1. Schwelly.
Schwelly.
Schwelly started game 1. He
Yeah.
did his thing.
He looked
Let him
okay.
down.
I mean, he didn't look terrible, but
And okay.
he
Well, yeah,
wasn't.
but I
he
mean-
wasn't. He wasn't
Schwelly.
regular Schwelly. Yeah.
No, but I mean, you still expect if you go out there and give your team a quality
To
start,
win.
then you should
Yeah.
win. Like you have to your best pitchers, you have to back up. Like I'm sorry, if you get a quality start out of your one or two guys, I mean, you have to at least win
Yeah.
those,
Yeah.
and we just haven't.
Round table. This is what 6 starts in a row now, where we could have won the game that we've lost now. 6 in a row.
Did you see the thing? Did you see the thing too, where somebody posted on X? They were like, "I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Braves' offense is wasting good starts from Chris Sale and Bryce Elder."
Bro.
I was like, "Damn, I never thought
Bryce fucking
wasting a start from Bryce Elder would
Multiple.
come out of
Yeah,
somebody's mouth."
that's
Multiple at that. Multiple
But
at
hey,
this point.
We are coining the name Big Texas. We've been advocating for it, and it's starting to catch on.
Listen, he
It
might be
is.
our all-star representative at this point.
Nah,
No, that's still gonna be Chris Sale.
It's got.
That's
Isn't
what
that
he
going to be
said.
sad as fuck? You're the representing team, and you're going to have a singular all-star.
And you're home.
Yeah.
You're the home team.
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. You're the representative organization of the all-star game. You're going to have one.
It blows my mind that the expectations coming into the season were
World Series.
World Series contender. We're not coming in there as the overwhelming favorite. Obviously, everybody
You
knows
had
the
like
Dodgers.
the second best odds.
Yes.
Yes, you had the second best odds to go to
Out
the
of
World Series. and
any
win.
team. Any team.
Anybody. And you're at June what is this? June 5th?
June
6th?
8th.
June 8th? I'm sorry, my days are mixed up. June 8th, and you're 10 games under 500 for the first time since 2016.
I am
You know what-
so fucked. I'm so fucked. FanDuel is robbing me right now.
It's robbing
Like,
a lot of people.
I just don't get it, man.
I,
I'm so frustrated with this team right now.
for any Braves players that may or may not listen to this podcast or may hear us talk shit at some point, because it's going to fucking happen, and I want y'all to understand that, number one, it's fucking well-deserved. Fucking wear it, okay? Number one. Number two, it's coming from...
Don't hate us. Hate yourself.
Yeah, legit. Hate
for
the
playing like shit.
hate yourself for fucking playing like absolute fucking dog shit. Number one. Number two, it's coming from a place of love right now from us, because we absolutely invest way too much time into this organization and team that we shouldn't, but because we're all disgusting Braves homers, this is what the fuck we do. So, this is what you get. So it's coming from a spot of love. So take it with a actual, like, damn, these people actually care. maybe we should care a little bit fucking more about putting a better product on the field.
Brother, I promise you right now, they could not care less if we care, but they do respect Brian Snitker. And
Do
Brian
they?
Snitker's sitting on his
Do
ass
they?
when Marcel Ozuna gets struck out on a cutter outside by 4 inches.
How about Verdugo today?
And Brian Snitker's just like,
Hold on. He got tossed.
He did get tossed.
You know.
Give him a round of
"He got
applause,
tossed
Jeb.
again today?"
Give him a round of applause for finally getting tossed.
I never said, like, hey, I need Snit to go out there and get tossed every game. I never said that.
I do. Fuck it.
I just said if he could bring some sort of life to this dugout. I mean, he's just sitting there in the cuck chair every single night. Just
I mean, how come you can't just do a Bobby Cox and you lean in your fucking chair and like, hey boys, it's time to get the fucking going. You know what I'm saying? Like something,
Yeah.
not just one of these.
well,
You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
you
Like-
also don't have any players in there who are like, step it the fuck up. Like, you guys are way better than this
Bro.
shit. Chris Sale has chilled out in his older years. Obviously, a lot of other guys are more quiet and shy guys, and you don't have anybody who's in that on the field presence who's bringing that fuck you, in the dugout presence who's bringing that fuck you. You don't have it.
and this
You
has
don't.
been the problem since they did not re-sign Dansby, did not re-sign Freddie, did not re-sign Max. Those guys were your leaders in the clubhouse,
Yep.
and none of them, even Charlie Morton, you had those guys who had the fuck you attitude that wanted everybody to come out there and play their best and actually care about the game, and we don't re-sign any of them for various reasons. You know, I'm not here to say place some blame on anybody for any of those, but what I am saying is those guys were your leaders, and you failed to get any of them. And now look at the team.
This is valid.
Bunch of guys who are not the leaders that this team needs.
Like, look, I know Ronald and Freddie probably didn't get along necessarily the best, but Freddie did, get on guys' ass when they weren't doing their thing, right? Dansby was much of the fucking same way. And unfortunately, I think we're coming to find out that you can't have a bunch of nice guys who always just get along that carries 162 games of greatness.
Yeah.
I think we're finally seeing that.
Which we've been talking about this, though, we've been talking about this since 22.
Yeah.
When Freddie left.
And Jock.
I mean, you still had Dansby, but
And
When Dansby left, was it
mean,
22? Yeah, it was 22 when he left, right?
yeah,
after
And
22.
you still
yeah.
had Max
he was
at
the
23.
last position player. He was the last position player that had that
Little bit of shit.
attitude that the Braves desperately needed. Dansby was a leader, regardless of whether or not you wanted to pull your hair out watching him play baseball for 3 out of 5
Yeah.
months. He was the leader that this team needed, and
Why do you think Chicago's doing
I
so
will-
good right now?
I will say a disgusting Braves homer Dansby breakdown would have hit like crack
Back in the Dizzy.
every single year that Dansby played in Atlanta. Around that June, July time, right about now.
Oh, fucking April.
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Motherfucker was absent every April.
Did you know that the Braves had exactly 7, or I'm sorry, they had zero 7-game losing streaks from 2017 until 2024. They have
now
two.
they had 2.
They
before
have
the All-Star
2
break.
this year.
Yep, before the All-Star break.
I think we've just come to realize, fellas, that it just ain't happening for this team this year. And you can't even just blame the team on the field. You can go with Snit. You can even go as far as AA, DFAing Scott Blewett for
There's-
Craig Kimbrell, who then got DFA'd the next motherfucking day.
Can we please talk about
Holy
that for a
shit,
second?
what are we fucking doing, AA? None of that makes sense. And then
What?
you bring up, what is it, Logan Cox or Austin Cox, whatever his
Austin
fucking
Cox?
name is?
And then or send him back down, option him before he even gets to the field. Like, okay, how stupid is this? You have Scott Blewett, who is a serviceable reliever. He did his job.
All but once.
He all but once. that last game, and of course, yes, it was a bad blow up. I'm not saying it wasn't, but you're gonna get rid of him after you misuse him for the entire time that he's with Atlanta.
Legit.
You misuse him, and then he's good even though you misuse him. He's good the entire time he's here. The once every 3 weeks that he pitches, and then he finally has a blow up game, and you're like, "Yep, you're out of here." And then you call up Craig Kimbrell. Now, Braves legend Craig Kimbrell. I will respect everything that this man did from 2010 to 2014. Not going to argue with you there. But it makes the move just absolutely pointless if you DFA Kimbrell 1 day after he pitches, the first time he pitches, and then you bring up an objectively worse reliever who then gets optioned for another guy who is just as bad.
That we claimed that somebody else did.
From the Phillies, by the way.
Yeah. So really, you just replaced Scott Blewett, who's a serviceable
With
reliever,
nothing.
with an objectively
with
worse reliever.
three trash cans.
Yeah. One being a Braves legend who I can, whatever, if you want to call that. You didn't even have the decency to let Kimbrell pitch in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You pitched him in San Francisco and then sent him packing.
Let's keep it up. Let's make it even, let's dig in a little bit more, right? They said the welcome back Craig post. That same day, they DFA'd him.
Well, like, what are we doing,
Like,
man?
you can't
It's
do
a
that.
dumpster fire.
Fuck, man. It just
If that's
looks so fucking bad when you do that shit.
It's brutal, man. This team is an absolute dumpster fire right now.
We are the New York Mets right now, chat. That's who the fuck we are. We are the New York fucking Mets organization. It's like we traded places for a fucking year.
So, I mean, I've been seeing it all over the place where, like, Kimbrell, like, in the minors was not really that effective, velo and stuff-wise.
That is fine if he's not effective, but why bring him up then?
Why replace
even
Blewett
waste
with
that
him?
spot?
Why?
Why DFA Blewett?
It should have been Montero.
You wasted a serviceable arm.
Should have been Montero.
Montero
I don't know.
Paid $3 million, so like they want to keep him because he's too stubborn and prideful to admit that he made a mistake, and they don't want to eat that.
Fucking
money.
eat it, bitch.
Yeah, they are
dog shit.
They are absolutely riding Montero's cock for no reason. No reason. No. He fucking sucks.
Terrible.
And I even thought De Los Santos was pretty trash. I looked a little bit into the numbers. He's not been terrible. Just don't let him pitch in high leverage. But Montero has been fucking abysmal.
He's dog shit.
He had a good outing today, which feels like the only the first outing that he's had
since before Boston. Since before
because
Boston.
it wasn't top of the eighth with 2 on with no outs, up by 1. That's why he had a good inning.
We're coming in and with like a 1-run lead in the 8th inning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I posted today, and I'm not gonna lie. I said it was time for Snit to go. It's just time. It's run its course. You know how much backlash? Like, I got 3 or 4 motherfuckers on there saying that ain't gonna change nothing. And then shout out Matt Olson Burner's account. He posted the numbers after the Pirates fired their manager and the Orioles. Both teams are at 500 or better right now after management substitutions.
Yeah, the Orioles are on a tear. I mean, we've talked about it. Like, new blood, I think, depending on the manager. Like, I think a David Ross would fit perfectly.
It's time for something.
I think he would. He's so much younger. He can bring so much more blood, like new blood and stuff, and just get the boys fired up.
Even if you don't want to go outside of the organization, Jeff, you have Eddie Perez, who's more than capable of fucking managing for, half a fucking season at this point?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, they're not going to fire Snit because of his 49, 50 years in the organization.
That's a dumb reason.
Just not.
I love Snit.
It's a brutal
I love
reason.
Snit. It's
You're
time to go.
Yeah, it is. It is time to go. It is a brutal reason, but I just cannot see them realistically firing Snit mid-season in his 50th season in the Braves organization. Just can't do it. Should they? Absolutely. but will they? Probably not.
Any other organization,
He's
he
gone.
was probably out the door.
Yes.
Like,
No,
a
any
month
other
Maybe
ago.
but the
manager,
Yankees.
if he hasn't had 50 years in the same organization, he would be gone.
He would have his shit damn packed.
It is just not good. Not at all. These guys.
It's bad. It's fucking bad.
And, I mean, Snit's going to go down, at least for right now, the second best manager in Braves history.
Yes, but
Yeah.
you know,
Second best Brave, and nobody will top Cox. Nobody will, unless we bring
somebody
in,
who wins 2 or 3 World Series, they'll top Bobby. They'll top Bobby.
say a David Ross, yes, and he wins, 2 World Series or 3 World Series. Like, I mean, but he's still, the managerial record and stuff, whatever. You can look at best managers how you want. But I like to look at overall performance, records, championships, playoff appearances, yada, yada, yada.
Playoff wins. That's all I give a shit about.
Yeah.
Getting there is important, but when you shit the bed over and over again, come on now.
I mean, outside of 21, how many wins?
But you can't blame. Well, you can blame 20. Was it 23 that Snit changed up the lineup? But like 2022 and 2023, that's not really on Snit when your offense was MIA.
22, no, I can blame that one on Snit a little bit because I remember Max Fried getting crucified out there in Game 2. And we come back within 1 run in the 9th inning and we lose. So if you actually make a fucking move at one point, you probably win that motherfucking ball game and push it to Game 5.
So then what about
22 was actually a pretty good hitting postseason for the Braves. I know Matt Olson had postseason
for like Matt Olson and like Ronnie
and Darno.
Everybody else was like, yeah.
You had some guys that were doing some things in that postseason. Like you had enough to get by the Phillies.
What about 2020 though?
What about 2020?
2020, they made it to the NLCS. They got beat by
Game
Dodgers
7.
So, like,
I know, but they had a 3-1 lead.
Okay, that's a team who hasn't been in that situation before and choked. That's what that was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Snit managed the shit out of that postseason in 2020. He managed the shit out of it. I remember all the bullpen moves that he made. That it was spot on. The guys just didn't perform and they choked. That's what that was.
Yep. I'm with Ryan. That 2020 was. It was just a case of the guys, like he said, never being in that position before, and they just didn't perform.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I was just wondering because I know we were in the NLCS. We had a 3-1 lead, but it made 2021 so much sweeter because we kicked the Dodgers' ass in the NLCS that year.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
But then that's when everything started falling apart because I'm a firm believer that Matt Olson is probably a top 3 first baseman in this.
Agreed.
League. But you got rid of
the best.
Whatever.
The
best first baseman.
Future Hall of Famer.
And leader did not come back to the Braves. Regardless of the reason, I'm not here to discuss the reason, but regardless of the reason, he's out the door. And that's when the dominoes started to fall.
Unfortunately, yes.
And I hate to say it, but that was the start of the downfall. There's this series on YouTube that I like to watch, and I forget who posted it. I can't remember. They changed their name, but it's like a rewind type deal where they go back and they discuss like dynasty or whatever that just kind of fell apart afterwards. And I'm not looking forward to the day that I go on my fucking YouTube app and see the Atlanta Braves, what would have been rewind of the 2020s. Like it pisses me off to no end.
If you had to keep either Dansby or Freddie, and I didn't realize Dansby was as important as what he was until he was gone. I didn't know.
Hindsight 2020, you should have kept Dansby.
Either him or Freddie. You had to keep one of the two.
We got Jose joining us finally. Jose, what's going on?
Nothing but pain. What about you guys?
I asked these boys before we got on this topic. Jose, are you a cookie or a brownie guy?
I don't discriminate, brother. I like both.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Look, in terms of cookies, white macadamia cookies are elite. I love those. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm gonna get diabetes if I eat more than one. But white macadamia cookies are elite. Brownies, any type of brownies, dude.
Bro, for
Any
sure.
type.
But Jose, let me ask you, and you guys can chime in too. Who has the best fast food cookies? There's one correct answer, and I want to see if y'all know it.
I don't be eating fast food
I
cookies.
don't either.
Oof.
I don't.
Look,
Give
Y'all
me your
have to
top
know
3,
the
Ben.
Subway
Top
cookies.
3.
Okay, Subway is far and away the best.
I
fast
thought of
food
Subway.
cookie.
Really?
Yeah, Subway's got some bomb ass
Subway.
cookies, buddy.
Subway cookies
different.
are
I-
brother, they're good.
I eat Chick-fil-A cookies.
Chick-fil-A was going to be in my
cookies
top 2.
Chick-fil-A has a good brownie. I don't know if I've had their cookies.
No, their brownies are kind of ass.
I've never had
in
their
my
brownies,
opinion.
so there you go.
They're not like top tier brownies for sure, but they're all right.
dude, their chocolate chunk cookies are actually pretty.
Yeah, their
elite.
chocolate cookies, dude. Ooh, they fucking hit hard.
Zaxby's has a pretty good cookie too. I do enjoy mint.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
good Zaxby's.
I agree with you, Ben. I think Subway's the clear winner here.
Yeah, Subway
So then-
is not close.
So then, Ben, who is a? Because I'm more of a milkshake guy.
Oh, shit.
Who's the top 3? Who's the top 3 milkshakes?
Bro, Chick-fil-A got a bomb.
Yeah,
milkshake.
Chick-fil-A,
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A.
Dairy Queen, I think it's got to be in there,
and
right?
No. Oh, Dairy. I've never gotten a milkshake
Sonic's
from
pretty
Dairy
solid.
Queen. Sonic is solid. A sneaky pick, the Burger King chocolate milkshake is
Never had
delicious.
it, believe that shit or not.
Zaxby's is probably in my top 3
I heard
as well.
Zaxby's is
So,
probably pretty
I can believe that. I can believe
Dude,
that.
Zaxby's
The
birthday cake milkshake.
That I would
The
agree with.
OG Zaxby's birthday cake milkshake.
Shit's good.
Top tier.
Shit's good.
Top tier.
Like when that shit comes around, I'm a fat kid for as long as it's around. There's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah.
I remember
Ye-
when they used to give them in the plastic cups, the reusable plastic cups. Oh my god.
And also, there's not many of these around, but Culver's has a good
Yes.
milkshake.
Yes. Culver's is gas.
Culver's is very delicious. I will.
You know what is not gas? This offense.
Brother, it's
Brother,
the whole
I'm tired of
team.
talking about the Braves.
Besides the starting
I'm
pitching.
tired of talking about the Braves.
We got to, man. We're a Braves podcast, unfortunately.
No, we don't have to. This is our podcast. We can do what we want.
We're going to just bring on our fast
Ben-
food channel real quick, chat.
Yeah.
I mean, on
I'm-
a positive note, though, have we talked about the starting pitching
We have not
yet?
talked big enough about Big
We have
Texas
not.
yet.
We have not
Brother,
talked about big
The
Texas.
starting pitching was actually super impressive this series with the Giants, man. All 3 starters had quality starts, and Bryce Elder had the best start of his career, like by far. The guy had, 12 strikeouts?
Bryce Elder
No
did
walks.
this to the entirety of Braves country right here.
Hey, and everybody was talking shit to me. I even had that one dude delete his own tweet. But they were talking shit to me about Bryce Elder and Big Texas, yada, 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 blah, blah. Did you blow him in high school? No, we only did hand stuff,
That's a great
yada, yada,
response.
yada. Bryce Elder went there and whipped his big old Texas barbecue schlong out and
did.
just
He
did.
walked it all over the Giants.
There's a fucking
I
drag
have one
line
thing
out
to
there,
say,
and it's
I'll
from
need
Big
to say.
Texas, man.
I have one thing to say, and I doubt that Bryce Elder listens to this, but if you do, please shoot me a DM on Twitter because I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I have shit talked to you this entire
We all
time.
have.
I'm sorry.
What do you
I'm
mean?
sorry that I didn't know the truth, but you have redeemed yourself in my heart, Bryce Elder, and
I
will
would-
fight to the
Jeb,
death.
I
shut
was
up.
the worst.
Jeb, yes, you were by far the most
I
worst.
was the worst. I was the one who called him the second coming of
Fucking Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, yeah. I called him the second coming of Osama bin Laden, and he just absolutely shoved a rocket launcher right up
Like,
my
me
ass.
and Jose were
Dude, I
critical
was-
when it needed to be, but we weren't jackasses about him, okay? Jeb, you were a piece of shit when it came to talking about Bryce Elder. Like, there's just no other way around it. You came around just a little bit quicker than Benjamin has.
And look, I've been the biggest fucking big Texas truther there has been, besides Bryce Elder Muse on Twitter.
yes.
Shout out him. That's my probably my second favorite account now, right after Boof.
I see. At one point, up until up until game time yesterday, I kept my stance pretty rock solid on Bryce Elder. That it was just a matter of time before he blew up, and was ass again. But
But would you have
yesterday,
believed it, though? He had put up like 6 consecutive starts of being fine.
yes, I absolutely
Yeah.
would have believed it because
Most people will.
brother,
Oh, my
he had
God.
an entire first half in 23 where he was one of the best pitchers in baseball and got an all-star nod in the first half of 2023. That's what, 12 starts, 13, 14 starts, stretch where he was really, really good. So yes, I absolutely believe that he could have blown back up and not been good again.
No,
But
no, no.
now,
I'm saying
Holy
like
shit.
he put up 6 really good starts,
Chat.
and then you would have just absolutely turned on one blow up.
Hey, I'm just going to point this out. I'm going to check something real quick on his Savant page. Bryce Elder, I think, has actually figured something out. His walk percentage is way down. His ground ball percentage is as good as it was in 23.
Yes.
But his breaking ball run value, the 97th percentile for Big Texas. That's kind of fucking nutty. Breaking run value, 97th percentile. It's
I guess,
kind of
good for him.
it's kind of
man.
nutty.
Good for Bryce. I hope
I would have
if you
given him
listening,
like
man, shoot me a DM on Twitter because I would love to personally apologize directly to you, Bryce Elder,
I would
for the
have
shit
given
that I
him
have talked.
His velo's
at
actually
least
increased too.
if he would have had 3 back-to-back-to-back rough starts, I would have been back on the fuck Bryce Elder train. But if he would have had one blow up and then the other ones were back to normal, I wouldn't have cared. But
See,
Are
if
you
he
saying
had one bad start and then gone back to being really, really good, I'd have been like,
Hold up.
yeah, it's still in there. It's still coming. It's just a matter of time. It'll be there. But no, he's proved to just be getting better, and the Braves are actually letting him start every 5th day, which is what they should do. Starters need consistency. Even when I was throwing, I needed consistency. I did the same exact routine every single week because during the
McDonald's.
season.
Jeb, listen.
No, asswipe.
Jose,
I-
you were saying something, Jose,
yeah?
before Ben
no,
cut you off like a jerk off.
You know what? I'm
no,
sorry.
you were
Jose.
saying, Jeb, something about a blow up for Bryce Elder. Are you really saying that after his first blow up, you wouldn't have DFA'd him like we did Scott?
I
Brewer?
knew he would have. I know you would have. You'd been all over that shit, brother.
Mhm.
No, because when he came up in, I believe, last year and all the following starts after 23, it was just dog shit. It was just dog shit. There was no bright spots, no bright blimps, no nothing. This year, he had, I believe it was his first and second start were not that great. And then after it was the Cardinal start, he had figured something out. And, I mean, we saw Chris Sale give up, 6 earned runs against the A's last year? Like,
Okay,
I
but
would've-
Chris Sale has an extensive history of being a top 10 pitcher in baseball.
Okay,
Bryce
but
Elder had half a season. Of
Okay,
being
but
a
what I'm
really good
saying
starting
is
pitcher.
he gave up 6 good starts in a row. If he would have blew up for one start, I was not going to jump on the DFA train. I was going to say, oh, not great from Bryce. Kind of like what I did with Grant the other day, where I was like, not too great from Grant. Because Grant has also been very, very good. It just sucks because you have 2 number 5s in Grant and Bryce.
You're going to have, it doesn't matter if you're number 1 or if you're number 5. You're going to have starts where you're just going to be absolute dog shit. It's just going to happen.
Right.
So,
Yeah, it'll happen over 162.
I wasn't going to crucify Bryce
But
over
I wasn't
1 or
gonna
2
be-
in a row. But if you get to
Yeah.
that 4 and
If-
5 territory, now
Yes.
I'm in your
Yes.
ass. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Not in a good way either.
Hey now.
Not in a good way.
Hey now. Whoa. I think it'd have been the other way around. They don't call him Big Texas for nothing.
Try me.
All I'm saying is, Bryce, thank you for turning a corner and being a really good major league pitcher.
Being a
again.
fucking dog, baby.
Speaking of Bryce Elder, man, y'all want to hear some stats?
do.
on him?
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right, so his first three starts of the year, like Jeb was saying, they were not that great. 4 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. 6 innings pitched, 5 earned runs. 5 innings pitched, 4 earned
Not
runs.
terrible.
But since then, he's put up 7 straight quality starts. 7 straight, going back to April 23rd when he started against the Cardinals. So he's been solid, man. He figured something out.
7 straight.
Also
quality
has
starts.
not gave up more than 4 earned runs, I believe.
He has not given up more
3.
than 3 earned runs since those first 3 starts.
Okay, I'm sorry. So for all the jackasses that were calling my shit out, and the marble mouth motherfucker who was calling me out for this bullshit, yeah, you can sit and spin.
Just like, how can y'all like 3 earned runs? Like Bryce is giving this motherfucking team a chance every 5 days. It's not his fault that the offense is dog shit or the bullpen comes in and fucks everybody up.
Well, all I'm saying is I know we're a Braves podcast, but it could be worse because
Way worse.
look at Paul Skeens. Look at Paul Skeens' last 8 starts.
Oh, God bless
The
Paul.
man has 1 win in his previous 8 starts, and guess how many earned runs he's given
Like
up?
3.
Like 3.
I think it's like 7 or 6.
It's like 1 a start. That's insane.
And he's gone like 6+ in all of those starts too.
Jose, please look that up for me because I know that it's his past 8 starts and he's only got 1 win, but I don't know. Like, you can look up his game logs there and just see the number of earned runs that he has. Like, I looked it up today because he's on my fantasy team, and I'm like,
Same.
you know what? I feel bad for the Braves, but good Lord, I feel awful for Paul Skeens.
Hey, fun fact: the Pirates just swept the Phillies, so there's that.
Yeah, that's
Maybe-
crazy. It would have been nice if we would have swept the Giants.
It'd have been really nice if we'd fire Brian Snitker roundtable.
These pork mouths want
I've
to.
been on that train forever, man. So speaking of Paul Skeens, he has 4 earned runs in his last 6 starts.
That's fucking stupid.
What about the last 8? Because I think he might have had.
The previous
Yeah.
2 before that, he gave up 2 and 3, so he was
Okay.
terrible, I guess, for those 2
God
starts
damn.
for Paul Skeens. Damn.
Yeah, fuck your narrative, Ben.
Yeah, man.
Sorry.
Jesus.
9 earned runs in 8 starts.
Ooh,
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like some Bryce Elder shit right there.
Big motherfucking Texas chat.
Yeah.
Dude, Bryce Elder, since that date I told you, since April 23rd, he has an ERA of 2.98.
What's his FIP?
StatMuse does not give me that, but I can look it
Yeah,
up.
let's look that up. I'm kind of curious what his FIP
Wait,
is.
so Bryce Elder's ERA since when?
Since
Cardinal.
April 23rd. The Cardinal series.
I would, if Bryce has a FIP of 4.5, I think that's solid as fuck.
You said it was 291,
His
correct?
ERA. Or 2.98, something like that.
Yeah, 2.98.
298. Okay. Yeah, that's going on the old X. Do we want to talk about the wild pitch walk-off?
And you were questioning me and Ben as why we didn't want Pierce Johnson closing baseball games, Jeb. I think you saw it in back-to-back outings.
I very quickly texted you back as
You
soon as
did.
you said that, and I said, "Okay,
Hats off to you.
proved your point." Yes,
Yeah.
I owned it.
I love Pierce, but he is not a ninth inning guy. He's not a closer. The walk-off wild pitch.
On a
That
1-2
is on both
count, Ben.
parties.
On a 1-2 count.
Yeah. It's on both parties, though. Because Sean
Yep.
Murphy should have blocked that up.
Yep.
He went
gonna
after
sit
with his
here
glove,
and-
right? I wasn't watching. I was watching on game day.
Yeah,
Yeah, he went after it with his glove. He tried to backstab
Yeah.
it. And, like, I'm not sitting here and calling Sean Murphy dog shit because he's not. But he
Some
should
would
have
say
blocked
he is.
that pitch up. Lots of people would say he is for some reason. But
He has been with the bat
He should have
lately.
blocked it up. But Pierce also shouldn't have spiked the curveball in the left-handed batter's box.
Not a shot.
Like,
I will agree that proved my point. Pierce Johnson's not a closer.
And then let's
won't
hang
bring it up
on. We're not
again.
done yet.
And then Matt Chapman.
Yeah, let's go to that
Matt
game.
Chapman.
Like he had Chapman, what 1-2, 2-2, and I was like, my girlfriend was sitting with me, and I was watching the game. I said he's gonna hang a 2-2 breaking ball right here, and it's gonna get sent 500 feet into the fucking moon. That's exactly what happened. And she just looked at me like, "How did you call that?" I was like,
"Was
it was a curveball, hanging curveball."
Yep, it was a curveball.
Yeah. Well, Matt Chapman just sent it to fucking Pluto, and that ball still hadn't landed. So.
Like,
yeah, that was.
And that's exactly what I told you. I was like, I've seen too many hanging breaking balls from Pierce and the rest of the fucking Braves. I just wish they get it out of their arsenal. Like, stop hanging the fucking breaking ball. How fucking hard can it be?
Well, you saw him try to not hang one, and he threw one.
Again, we discussed this. It's 50-50 between him and Sean. Like, for Sean, you're a big league catcher. Get it. I've seen you block worse pitches than that, right?
Not only are you a big league catcher, but you are a former Gold Glover, and you are, respectfully, you are one of the best defensive catchers in baseball. Supposed to be.
Yes.
So
block it the fuck
get
up.
Off your ass, block it up.
Yeah.
So Dylan Lee for closer?
No.
I'm just gonna start.
Nobody for
petitioning
closer.
every other
We just skip the
reliever for
ninth
closer.
inning and we get a win. How about that? Round table?
Yeah.
We make it to the ninth and it's an automatic win.
Whoa. Hear me out. Bryce Elder closes on his days off.
No, fuck no. Although I did think,
Yes.
on side sessions.
Yes.
I did think about this today. I was like, what if Grant just, makes his side sessions out of the bullpen a couple days a week
What
like
if
he did in game one?
of the season?
What if?
Yeah.
And this is gonna be an unpopular opinion. All right. What if we? What
Who's
if
guy got
we
DFA?
transition Spencer Strider to the closer role?
We've talked.
said
Me and a
that
buddy of mine
when
talked about this a long time ago.
I said that, and I think it would have benefited him in the long run. But for what he was as a starter, you could have took that out of the rotation.
Absolutely. But after internal brace, I think one inning where he can just go and just
Let it eat.
chunk the fuck out of the baseball, I think he could be elite in a closer role. At least try it for this season. And then once the end of the season rolls around, you can insert him back into the rotation if he's healthy.
That's exactly what I get at. I don't want to judge Spencer Strider's longevity as a starting pitcher based off of poor performance this year. I've said this multiple times on the podcast. It takes a long time to come back from a fucking injury. Just because a guy is fucking back on the mound doesn't mean he's 100% back yet. Spencer might be 80% back right now. I think that's fair to say. He's not Spencer Strider right now. But if you put him in the bullpen, you're going to give him the best chance to succeed every single night he comes back out on the bump because he can just let it ride for one fucking inning.
At least for this season. And then reevaluate where you're at with him in the offseason.
And you can even do it as like a hybrid. Like he can go 1 to 2 innings if you need him to.
Yeah.
Who are you going to put in the bullpen or in the rotation then to fill his
Fucking
spot?
put Forrest Whitley or somebody in there for this at this fucking point, or call up one of the fucking kiddos from the minor leagues who've been studding out. Isn't Hackenberg
Speaking
ready?
of-
Fuck.
No, Hackenberg has
absolutely
been
not.
dog shit.
Okay.
He's been
Hackenberg-
awful.
I don't keep up with the
Hackenberg
minor
is
leagues.
Terrible.
I
The
don't
only-
either.
The only
but-
player that I can see coming up from the minors, well, the only pitcher that I can see coming up anytime soon, and by that I mean like within the next couple weeks, is young Carlos Lara.
I've heard he's been doing
That
good.
kid right there. No, he's slinging the rock.
Is he the one out of the bullpen, or is he an actual?
Yeah,
He's
the one that
throwing
throws like
102?
103.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
been
nice.
he's been hammering it down. I still want to see him get his control under his belt a little bit better. But
Yeah, we don't want another day's bill.
Listen,
hey, Daysbell was good until he blew his pinky out. Excuse me, blew his
Yeah,
pinky
but-
out.
That's so
and then it
stupid.
He
came
had
out.
like
y'all jumped my ass
He
in
had
the
like
chat too,
23
saying it was his fucking pinky. What the fuck was that about? I knew it was the UCL.
no. They said it was his.
Of
pinky,
course they
what
said
we
it was his
said.
pinky. The motherfucker was crying, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, man. And he
It
was
was
doing this
brutal,
shit
man.
with it. No, that ain't no damn pinky. Get the fuck out of here.
I know. I'm just telling you what they said. I mean, we can.
Yeah.
We can't trust the Braves
eyes.
front office
We
anymore,
could-
okay, chat? We just can't fucking trust them.
We could obviously see it was something other than a pinky.
Fuck the
but-
Braves front office right now. Hey, fuck you. And fuck the goddamn,
Piss me off.
who was the fucking ownership? Fuck them all. Fuck all you
Terry
motherfuckers,
McGirt.
man. I hope y'all
Terry
hear this.
McGirt.
Fuck y'all.
Liberty Media, Terry McGirt.
Buying that stupid ass fucking pennant part bullshit, not putting back in the team. Fuck you, bitch.
What I wanted to get y'all's opinion on Forrest Whitley before Ryan went on his tangent because I thought you brought up a good point.
Honestly, bring him the fuck in.
I feel
even
like
if you
it
put him in
would
the
not
bullpen.
be a bad move.
Even if you put him in a
Yeah.
bullpen and just say, hey, go out there and fucking throw. We got fucking Rafael Montero in this goddamn bitch. You can't be any fucking worse than him. Just go throw.
He's got 5 pitches, I think, and it's like I said on X or Twitter or whatever the fuck. Why don't you do it like is it Yanni
Johnny
Chirinos?
Chirinos.
Yeah, why don't you do like you did him in 23 where it was like, we just need 9 to 12 outs.
Because our bullpen's dog shit. And it wasn't in 23.
Yeah, but like you wouldn't make him a complete starter per se, but you would just like ride him until like it's the 5th inning, he's gone 4 1/3 and he gives up a double and a walk and it's like, all right, pull him. Jose, look at his stats and stuff. I want to see how he's done because I know
I'm
he's got a
looking on
5 pitch
Savant.
mix, but okay, I know his breaking run value or his ground ball percentage or something was like really really good.
Trying to pull it up.
While you're looking that up, Ryan, I'd just like to say my piece about ownership.
Go ahead,
I
buddy.
fucking hate
Yes.
y'all. I fucking hate y'all. Every single one of you motherfuckers. You fucked this season over. And it's quite clear to me. You all have fucked this season over. Like, I get it. Y'all are worried about the All-Star game and all that, yada, yada. This team needs help, man. This team is not going anywhere the way it's going right now. That's clear to me. That's clear as
No,
day.
they're going somewhere, all right. It's to the absolute bottom of. We're 2.5 games better than the Marlins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
2.5.
Oh,
Let that
you
sink
bet
in,
your
chat.
ass if the Marlins pass us. Oh, I think Atlanta fans will let ownership.
Bro,
here.
we're
I
already
think they will.
fucking booing the team off the field.
Yes.
And Atlanta doesn't
Good.
fucking do it. And you know what? I am so
Good.
happy that we are. Because fuck this damn
Yes.
organization right now, bro. We have invested so much
Yeah.
into y'all, and we have absolutely put y'all on this fucking platform as a fan base. Like, we have done that. Y'all didn't do that shit. We did it for you. And we expect a little bit of that shit in return, and you just said, no, here's Jerks and Profar, and good fucking luck. You know what? Go fuck yourself.
Hold on.
And as a matter of fact, man, if y'all are listening to this or whoever's listening to this, don't go to the fucking games anymore.
I'm not.
Don't give them your money.
No, fuck them.
They don't deserve it. They do not deserve it. The way that this team's playing right now, the way that ownership has handled this
Fuck
season,
'em.
the way that I don't know if it's them sabotaging AA. I don't know if it's I don't know the inner workings of that. The only thing I know, this team is ass right now. Do not give them your money.
They're not fucking worth
I
it,
think it's a mix. I think AA could have done a lot better. I think he could have gone out and got some other options.
here's what I'll say.
Like Andrew Chafin.
Yes,
Andrew
I
Chafin
agree
signed
that
a
he could have
minor
done a
league
better
deal.
job bargain shopping. You could have done a better job bargain shopping, especially in the fucking bullpen if you didn't have the funds. There's no question about that. But as far as
But
making
why would you go
big,
get Jurickson Profar
as far as
if you
making
knew you needed to?
big impactful moves, I think his hands were fucking tied.
Yes.
I don't think so because it came out that they tried to give Jeff Hoffman an offer. And granted, Jeff Hoffman isn't having the best season, but
But I don't
not-
think they would have went and got Profar if they would have got Hoffman.
But that's fine. They needed bullpen help.
Hell, we
really.
need
I mean,
offensive
Yeah.
help too.
apparently.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We need everything.
Well, they needed every help they can get. But to sit here and tell me that you're not going to at least try to put, I don't know, Drake Baldwin in left field
Something.
or something to try to put the best team on the field. Because I'm sorry, Drake Baldwin is a rookie. For whatever Alex Verdugo has done in his career, Drake Baldwin is much better
Yes.
than Alex
Yes.
Verdugo in the year 2025.
And Verdugo doesn't own
So
a
why are
fucking
we
glove
not-
in the outfield either, so you're not missing anything there.
No. Exactly.
if need
Like,
be, you can defensive replace him with a
Eli White.
Williams or Eli White or Stuart Fairchild if he wasn't injured. You can definitely replace him defensively out there.
like it's brutal to watch day in and day out. This team not making adjustments, and then making adjustments that are not needed because
Overcorrecting.
the Braves put up 10 runs in that in what the last game against
The Diamondbacks.
Yeah, the dog shit
the Diamondbacks. They
Diamondbacks.
put up 10 runs. And you know what they did literally the first game of the Giants
Laid a
series?
fucking egg.
They changed the lineup. Michael Harris was hitting ninth in that game against the Diamondbacks. And then what do they do? The first game against the Giants, they move his ass up to seventh.
I can't even
And then they
argue
put
with
him at,
moving
what,
Michael
fifth
because he
today?
actually had a
Fourth?
fucking decent series. You can't even argue it.
That's
Yeah.
not the point.
I get it.
The point is they had a
Recipe.
good thing going with that offense. I firmly think that Michael Harris should hit
I
ninth.
agree.
Not because
Yeah.
he's
Turns
bad,
the lineup over.
but because he can turn the lineup over to Ronald, give him a chance to hit with a guy on base, and go from there. But you immediately change it the day after your offense puts up 10 runs. What is that saying? What is that doing?
You know
what
what
is the
that's
point of
saying,
that?
Ben? That's saying that Snit is a fucking dumbass. He doesn't know what
Yeah.
he's doing. He does not know what he's doing. Plain and simple.
I think he has for the first 48 years or whatever it is of his career, but this year,
Just check the fuck out. man.
Sorry.
he is
Sorry.
checked. He
I'm
is
just
gone.
calling it like it is. Snit should not be a major league manager right now. He just shouldn't.
Not only that, man. You got no voice in the fucking clubhouse to lead a team that clearly needs fucking leadership at this point. Like, clearly fucking needs leadership through this time.
I mean, and yes, he got thrown out of the game yesterday. I'm not saying you have to get thrown out of the game, but if the camera pans over to you every game and you're sitting there in your fucking chair yawning, what are we doing? You don't
The
have to
chair.
get thrown out of the game, but you have to pay attention. And don't even get me started on him saying that he's not paying attention to the game, but then saying he is paying attention to the game, and then every time they pan over to him, he's yawning, and then not defending his players. It's like, what are you
And
there
you had
for?
the Kelnick situation
You-
earlier in the year that fucked with it.
Yeah, you literally, all he's doing is writing names on a lineup
And just
card,
posting it.
willy-nilly, and posting it, saying, all right, here we go. Good luck today, boys.
And we can all sit here and say, you know what, let's just fix the managerial spot and let's see what we have next year. Honestly, I'm kind of ready for some fucking changes. I want some of the coaching staff gone. I want whoever comes in to bring in their own coaching staff, change the fucking dynamic of the coaching staff. It's time.
But how much is that going to affect the players, you think, going through basically?
Look how
three
much it's
coaching
already
staffs in
fucking
3
affected
years?
them, Jeb. They lost their dudes.
But-
Honestly.
But it's pretty much been the same since 24.
If-
besides the bullpen was better last year.
Honestly, man, if the coaching staff was a fucking problem last year, let's just keep it a buck. Because we had a pretty good team, I would say, through about 100 games. We had a pretty solid team, and they underperformed then. They did. They flat out underperformed then. And then no, it wasn't that. You know, they had injuries. This is why we had such a tough year. And now here we are with a fully healthy roster. We have Ronald. We have Spencer. We have everybody but what? Joe
Well,
Jimenez?
They're not fully healthy, though.
Ronald's fully
I mean,
healthy.
Strider might not be.
Ronald is
but
fully
Ronald
healthy.
Has damn sure Ronald
Yeah.
looks damn healthy.
Yes, Ronald looks fine.
Spencer's not.
But
I mean,
I'm
we're
saying-
missing Joe Jimenez. Yes, we're missing Joe Jimenez.
that's
we're
it.
missing.
AJ Minter. You're missing.
AJ Minter's
Ian
not
from
on the
Minter
team.
Last
doesn't count.
year.
He's not on the
He
team.
doesn't count. He's not on the team.
But you're saying from last year,
I'm
right?
just talking about injuries. I'm talking about.
This year's injuries.
we're talking
Okay,
about
you're
a
missing-
fully healthy
You have
roster.
everybody back
Okay,
that
you're
we're missing,
missing-
besides Joe.
Yes, you're missing Joe Jimenez and you're missing Iggy from last year, or even Iggy from 23.
Iggy is
And
healthy
Raylo.
in here.
Iggy.
He's healthy in here.
Raylo's
Yes,
missing.
but he's a walking corpse of
It
himself.
fucking happens, Jeb. It happens, unfortunately. Like, at some point, like, you're just looking around, like, you have, obviously, the personnel to go out there and fucking win games. Something is wrong. Something's wrong. And I know the guys. The guys have all been together for the last several years. It's not anything in that clubhouse other than fucking leadership. It's the fucking coaching staff. There's no other way around it. Nothing has really changed overall in that clubhouse with the guys playing on that field except the coaching staff. It's them. They're the issue. If I had to underline and say it, it's them, along with Snit.
I mean, you've had some guys leave, but for the majority, it has been the same core.
Yes. And let's not be real unrealistic here. This same core minus what? Max Fried?
Dansby and Freddie.
I'm talking about 23. Max Fried.
Okay, minus Max Fried.
And 23. Went out and fucking performed above all expectations, which you can't expect that every year. But I didn't expect the fall off to be like it is. I don't think anybody should have.
No.
Which is why everybody's so pissed, and even fucking Passon is saying they just need to play up to their fucking level of performance.
Did you see where Bob Nightingale, well, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but Bob Nightingale said that they do not expect the Braves to sell besides maybe Ozuna?
Which is nuts to me.
Well, I agree with you, Ben. I think we need to make some moves. But you have a walking corpse in Iglesias that you can't shed that contract unless you eat a shit ton of it, unless he starts performing better.
Which it's only 1 year.
Yeah, but still, people are going to want you to eat money, and they're not going to give you a big prospect for him unless he performs better.
I know, but his savant is still
It's pretty good. I agree.
People will overpay for bullpen, and if there's a team out there that's like, oh, if we tweak, his release point, if he's at 40 degrees and we took it to 38 degrees,
I get it.
Or, blah, blah, blah. Like, people will overpay for pitching, especially if they're a postseason
Marcel's
team.
not going to bring anything back with the way he's swinging the bat right now and with his hip being thrown out there for everybody,
Yeah.
So,
and, I mean, Iggy, like, I wouldn't overpay for Iggy.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like,
you
got to move something.
The only really big trade piece that you have
Murphy.
right now that would fetch you, well, him too, but okay, so there's two then. Would be him and Chris Sale. And I think if you trade Chris Sale, that is a massive mistake.
You're punting for next year.
Throwing in the towel for next year.
That's your ace for next year.
Yep.
But if you wanted to get the most out of your money for that particular, like if you want the biggest prospect you can possibly get, possibly your shortstop of the future,
it's either going to be Murphy or Sale.
You go out and trade Chris Sale. Or Sean Murphy, for that matter. Because Sean Murphy would also fetch quite a haul. Not as much as Chris Sale, but still quite a haul.
I'd be very open to Sean Murphy.
I would do it.
And this is not me saying I hate Sean Murphy, but I think he can get us something that we need to fill our team with that's going to be more beneficial than what he can do. Baldwin's going to have a learning curve at calling in a major league game for a while. You can get a backup catcher like a fucking James McCann who has done that, who's been good at game calling to help massage him through that learning curve.
Already have in the system.
But he's got to play every day, man. That bat's got to play every day. That bat is better than Sean Murphy's bat.
You have to go get your shortstop of the future if you trade one of those guys. You might have to package maybe a starting pitching prospect with Sean Murphy.
If you get that in return, I'm happy with it. And you're shedding money.
Exactly.
Like because they're going to take that contract regardless. Like I'm not putting any money in there.
For sure.
If you're packaging Murphy and a top pitching prospect and you're getting like a Tovar or like a Lawler or Perdomo or whoever they said we were in on, yes, they're taking on that money.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. And that frees up more money for next year's market.
I'm not saying that would be the like in stone deal that they would have to have in place because I mean that's above my pay grade and who am I to say what they need to trade for shortstop or whatever. But what I am saying is you got to go do something. You got to go do something. And the A's, I mean, wouldn't it be nice if the A's were just dumb enough to trade Jacob Wilson? Like, wouldn't it be just nice? Yeah. Wouldn't it be so nice?
Oh, I would love Jacob Wilson.
Brother,
they're not
Jacob
dumb
Wilson
enough,
on this team. They might be.
I don't think they
are. They might be dumb enough.
Look, the only thing that's become clear to me watching the Braves every single day, basically, this season is we should not just be selling Marcell Ozuna. We should be selling quite a few pieces if we can get a good return for them. Like
I don't think he's Sale.
I think we should move Sale if the
No.
package is right.
I don't know,
And
man.
the reason I say that is because Chris Sale has been fantastic. I love Chris Sale. However, next season he's going to be 37. Is he still going to be great next season?
Probably.
Yeah.
Nothing's
And you
dropping
don't
on
have
a
another,
Savant
like-
page. Nothing.
You don't have another, like,
Yep.
go out there,
Bonafide ace.
fuck you pitcher. You have Schwelly, and I mean,
Schwelly is a
Schwelly's
fuck you
still
pitcher.
learning. Like we've,
Schwelly's
I know,
a fuck
but
you,
he's-
dude.
But
He's
Schwelly
still,
isn't
like,
Chris
he's-
Sale
Yeah.
yet.
he still has his blow ups. He still has his blips, which is fine. This is his second year, his first full year in the big leagues. You go out and you trade a Chris Sale, you're basically punting next year
Yes.
because you don't have a veteran pitcher to lead this staff.
You don't.
Unless you go out and you sign a Charlie Morton or a Jose Quintana next year, but at that point, I mean, fuck, you're getting a 44-year-old Charlie Morton,
Yeah.
and
That's
you're
why
getting
I'm
a Jose,
saying only if the package is right. Only if AA can do one of those packages.
You'd have to
yes.
get, like...
You got to be blown
Yes.
away to trade Chris
You'd
Sale.
have to
You
get your
can't-
bona fide shortstop, and you'd have to get a couple pitching prospects in return for that. And one of them
But the
has
only
to be
thing I'm saying-
like dead on. Like, I'm not missing on this dude. He has to be that.
The only thing I'm saying is he shouldn't be an untouchable. If the package is right, if the package is really good, I would listen on it.
I mean, I can agree listening, but
Chris Sale, get ready to learn Red Sox again.
you know what I thought of the other day, though?
I'll take Ramon Anthony. We'll give you Jerks and Profar
Nah,
for free.
they ain't trading Roman. They would not trade Roman. I'm talking about Marcelo.
What about
They
Sean
traded
Murphy
him.
to the Reds?
For who?
For who?
Matt McClain
No.
and maybe another prospect.
I love Matt
good
McClain.
enough.
Love Matt McClain.
Yeah.
I need more than that for Sean Murphy. Like, you're gonna have to
Not
give
good
me
enough.
him.
That's what I'm saying.
You're gonna have to give me him plus 2
That's
to
what
3
I'm
other
saying.
dudes. Easy.
Okay, but if say Sean, like, go to the Reds. Sean Murphy's from Cincy. Like, could you imagine that pitching staff with Murphy?
And him in that ballpark.
Oh my
Get
God.
Get
Yeah.
Hunter Green on the mound with Sean Murphy.
Yeah.
Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo, Andrew Abbott, a potential Chase Petty in the future, and isn't there another pitching prospect that I'm
Lauder?
forgetting?
Rhett
I
Lauder,
think so, yeah.
Chase Burns.
Chase
We'd
Burns,
have to get our
that's the other guy.
shortstop. Our shortstop and a
You'd
couple
have to get
of
Matt
digs
McClain,
in
and you'd have to get
a Louder or somebody else in return for Sale. I mean, for Murphy. There's no question.
Okay. What about a maybe a McClain and a? I mean, would a Abbott be too much? I don't think he's really been
I don't think Abbott's
like.
enough.
I think this is his first year.
Abbott, I don't think would be enough.
No, this is like Andrew Abbott's like third year. in the
Yeah, he
bigs.
hasn't been very good.
But I'm saying
No,
I-
he's been.
that's what I'm-
Andrew Abbott's
he's been
phenomenal.
great this year. I'm
He was
saying
good
I don't
last
know.
year, too.
He was okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know. That's what I'm saying.
Can you look up his numbers, Jose? Because Andrew Abbott's been good his entire time in the bigs.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if like McClain and Abbott, like, would that get it done? Because then you'd be getting another lefty.
Who's been the righty
to add to
that
this
was really
rotation.
inconsistent that got moved to the bullpen that threw like that 100-something mile an hour cutter?
Andrew Abbott, guys, has been getting quite a bit better each season. His first season in the bigs was 23. He had a 3.87 ERA over 109 innings.
That'll
3.72 ERA last year and a 2.18 ERA this
Oh,
year.
eat my shit, Chad.
Yeah,
I
he's
was
been
wrong.
Fucking nails.
Okay.
He's
Yeah,
been
Andrew
nails
Abbott's been
this
good.
year.
And since yeah. Can't really argue with those numbers.
Even the high threes, like
Yeah.
I'm still cool with
Yeah.
that. You know,
In that ballpark too.
And we'd get to keep
playing-
Sale too. And you get to add that, move Grant to the bullpen. Yeah. I could see it.
I think you would need to add another piece, but
You're on the track.
Mike could get it done.
You're on the track.
Yeah.
I mean, a Matt
Who's
McClain
their
and Andrew
catcher?
Abbott,
Who is the
Tyler
Red-
Stevenson.
Stevenson, and he's been hurt or sucking cock.
We can literally
Yeah, you
take
need to
him
move
on
him
as
to
a
first.
backup
Oh,
catcher.
well, they got,
Yeah,
they got CES
and he's
as
from
their-
Atlanta.
Yeah, he is.
he's from Atlanta and grew up a Braves fan.
Yeah.
Andrew Abbott did.
No.
No,
Stevenson.
Stevenson.
I'm saying if you get McClain, Abbott, and then Stevenson as a backup because that's a way cheaper option than Murphy, and then a fucking mid to high tier another prospect, I think you got it. I think you got it.
Send Murphy and fucking Nacho. I don't know who gives a shit.
I'd give him Nacho in a heartbeat.
Nacho has disappeared off the face of the earth. He's a fever dream.
Yeah.
I'd give him Nacho in a fucking New York
Somebody.
second.
I loved Nacho, but good lord, that man has just disappeared off the face of the earth.
I've been saying the Reds for Murphy for quite a while. I feel like that would work out for
Good
both
call.
parties. Because the Reds could use a game caller like Murphy. I mean, granted, we could too, but like the Reds need that catcher who's going to catch every day. And Sean Murphy in that ballpark would be phenomenal, I think.
But I also say, like, if we're giving up a piece like that, like, we're not trying to win this year. So it's okay if we fucking let Baldwin go out there and call the rest of the year and he learns his fucking way around the league. That's what I'm saying.
Baldwin has honestly improved
He has
so far this
a
year.
lot.
Like, from the beginning of this year to this point in the year, he's improved behind the plate quite a bit, and it's very impressive.
So that's why I'd be more comfortable going ahead and just sending Murphy on his way and getting that big return because it's going to fetch you something.
Yeah.
It is. I would rather do that than Sale because I still want to keep next year going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's our best bet in retooling. Shipping Sean Murphy out for what you really need. So.
Yeah, I could see it.
And
I don't think Boston will part with Meyer just for Murphy.
They won't. I was just being funny. I promise you, they're not going to do that.
It wasn't really that funny.
I was, fuck you.
It's his pipe dream. Let him have it.
Right.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about the next series because we're going to lose and we're going to get swept anyway.
Yeah. Jose, who do we have next series?
The Brewers. We have
who's the probables and what are
Sale's
our
going one game? Yay!
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, Ben.
The fact of the matter that the Braves went from Atlanta, played 3 games in Atlanta, fly overnight to San Francisco, play 3 games in San Francisco, no day off, and then fly back to Milwaukee, no day off, and play 3 games. It's kind of fucking wild to me on the travel schedule,
buddy. Rob Manfred's finest.
I'm not blaming their losses on the schedule because this team just kind of blows right now.
Suck.
Anyway, but that's not helping at all.
You literally had all 3 of these games won. You had the lead in all 3 of these games.
The last 6 were pretty winnable. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
You could have a 6-game winning streak right now chasing down one of the NL East teams, but no, this has costed you your season.
Today, I don't really count it as like you had this game won. The first 2 games of this series, though,
yes,
100%, 100%, you had those games won.
Yep.
Today they just got beat, and that's fine. That's gonna happen. But you can't when you're struggling, you cannot let wins
elude you,
get past you like those previous 3 games were.
Have they forgotten how to win?
Yes, they have. They find ways to lose, Jeb. They don't find ways to win. There's a fucking difference, and they have no clue how to win a fucking ball game right now. Their confidence is fucking dog shit. The only one that's really swinging the bat pretty well right now is 2 people. Everybody who shits on him, Austin Riley, went like 5 for fucking 12 this series. And then you had Michael Harris do pretty good. Matt Olson had some decent hits.
Matt Olson had the game-tying home run yesterday.
Homer, the double today.
RBI double today. He had 3 RBIs today.
But,
I mean...
Where was Ronald? Oh, yeah, he took 3 fastballs right down the middle. Yes, Ronald, I'm getting onto your fucking ass. Swing the goddamn bat.
That's one at bat.
He took 4 because there was one in there that was a strike up and in the zone that he took that the umpire called a ball.
Which the umpires this series were kind of fucking...
I don't give a shit. It wasn't the umpires that lost this series.
They were ass.
No. It wasn't.
Umpiring has been a problem for years. Let's be honest. Like, I'm not giving them the power.
Andy Fletcher?
Like, they're the reason why we lost. No, we lost because we're dog shit.
Andy
I'm not
Fletcher might have
saying
been
that's
probably
why
the
we
worst
lost.
umpire I've seen in years.
I'm just saying that the umps were dog shit in this game. I'm not saying,
I feel like we say
lost
that
every game in the series because
though.
of the umps.
Let's be honest. We say it,
No.
yes.
Andy Fletcher in the second game had 21 missed calls.
21, yeah.
I'm not saying that they're not dog shit.
You should not do that as a major league
Not
umpire.
saying they're not dog
It's
shit.
not detracting from the fact that the Braves are dog shit. They would have lost the games anyway.
Either way, correct.
That's fine.
And
But
honestly,
you still expect major league umpires
do their
be
job.
better than 21 missed
I agree.
calls.
I 100% agree. I'm just not going to use
Like,
them
I
as
saw
an
the
excuse to
umpire
bail us
score-
out. That's all I'm saying.
I saw the umpire scorecard on Twitter, and I was surprised at how good it was. Because it was still dog shit.
How's that?
that's the only reason why I haven't been mad at the umpires. And y'all know me, if you follow me on X or Twitter, I shit on umpires pretty fucking
We
hard
all
when they
do.
deserve it.
We all shit on them.
But I did not give a fuck this series or the last one because the Braves have been ass. Either way, with perfect umpiring, they would have lost those games. So why do I care?
Yep.
Yes, it's annoying. Yes, it is still annoying. But I really couldn't give a shit right now the way the Braves team is playing.
Thank you, Jose.
So, Jose, who do you have the probables pulled up for the
I know
game?
Sale pitches game one.
Game one, we have Chris Sale going up against Aaron Savali.
That's 10 innings, no runs, 14 Ks.
We lose 1-0. Get no hits.
Game two, on Tuesday, we have Grant Holmes going up against Quinn Priester.
Good 6 innings, 2 runs.
L.
And then we have the close. Actually, is it? Yeah, it's a 3-game series. Wednesday game, we have Spencer Schwellenbach going up against Chad Patrick.
So no name
Do you
Chad
have their
Patrick
stats
is going
pulled
to
up?
eat our ass from the back, and we're going to lose 2-1.
No, don't say no name Chad Patrick, because he's actually been pretty solid.
I don't know him. That's why I'm saying no name. I don't know of him.
Okay. He's been pretty solid this year.
Aaron Savali has been struggling, 5.19 ERA.
Getting a
Dude's
perfect
dog
game.
shit. He's going to pitch 12 innings of perfect game.
Perfect
ball.
game against us.
Yep.
Quinn Priester, he's pretty solid, 3.88 ERA.
That's
Yeah, we're getting 7 innings of 1-run ball. Yep.
How many innings of Quinn Priester have they had? Because it hasn't been many.
Quinn Priester has only thrown 55 2/3 innings.
Okay, yeah, so he hasn't thrown that much.
And then Chad Patrick, over 69.2 innings, has a
Hey.
2.84 ERA.
A what ERA?
3.4?
2.84.
So we're going to figure out how to
24?
score 4 runs against him and win that one.
Hey, so what was Chad Patrick's ERA?
No, you're talking about innings.
2.84.
Huh? Or how many innings did Chad
69.2,
Patrick have?
Jeb. 69.2. Yes, we understand. Yep, got it. We're not in a joking mood on this podcast.
$69.
All right. I got like 10% battery
do you have
life.
their... All right, real quick. Do you have their numbers against those pitchers?
We're dog shit.
Yeah, let me pull them up.
There's your numbers, chat.
Yeah, Bertum.
Okay.
I don't think they've ever faced Quinn Priester or Chad
So we're
Patrick.
definitely not getting shit off of them.
Well,
Aaron Savali, they might have faced like once.
We're going to sit on his sweeper
It's
the
any-
entire
any
game, and
given
we're going to
time.
miss the fastball right down the middle like we did today.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
So, against Aaron Savali, the only player of note is Sean Murphy. He's 1 for 2 with a homer.
Yeah, we're
Alex
getting shut out.
Verdugo is 3 for 5 with a 1200 OPS.
Yeah, he's been out for 4.
Against
Easy.
Quinn Priester. Let's see. Ronald is 1 for 3. Albies is 2 for 3. Harris is 1 for 2. Sean Murphy's 1 for 2. And Austin Riley's 2 for 3.
Look at thick chugging.
And then nothing against Chad Patrick. He has not faced the Braves.
Chad Patrick. That sounds like a fuck you,
That's
fuckboy name.
literally the whitest name I've ever heard in my life.
That sounds like a fuckboy name.
Hey, real quick, Jeb.
That sounds like...
We were talking about Forrest Whitley a long time ago,
Yeah.
and he's 83rd percentile in fastball velo. That's the only one really showing.
Fastball view.
96.3.
Wasn't he 86 or 80 something percentile in like extension or something?
65.
What's the other one? He's 80-something percentile.
Nothing.
Something.
Even 24 only had him in fastball velo. But 65 in extension,
know,
and he's got a 6-pitch mix. I would take
6? Oh, I saw 5, but I'd take a flyer. Yeah.
I'd take a flyer.
Well, all right, Ben. Series prediction. What do you think?
Sweep, but not of the good kind.
Agreed.
Reverse sweep.
I'm with Ben.
Okay. Okay.
I have no reason to believe the Braves are going to win one game the way we've been playing. So I gotta predict the sweep for the Brewers.
Okay. Well. I guess I'm the only motherfucker who says that the Braves are going to sweep.
You're a crazy motherfucker,
I got the
buddy.
Braves sweeping.
Jeb,
the
whatever
Braves
you're on,
seem
give me some
crazy
of it,
as hell.
okay?
I will
will.
say, historically, I feel like
Yeah.
the Braves as a team do pretty well at Miller Park. Is it still Miller Park?
No,
fucking
it's American
know.
Family
Yes.
Field. You fucking dumbass.
Okay,
It's Miller Park to
It's still
Ryan.
Miller Park. All right.
It is. It is Miller Park.
I feel like historically they do pretty well, dating back to like the mid 2000s when I started watching. So, there's a glimmer of hope, and
Yeah.
I hope it continues to stay that way.
Fun fact, Austin Riley fucks in that
Jose, do you have
ballpark. I
anything?
just want you to know that.
He does. He does.
Yeah.
Jose, do you have anything?
Michael Harris hit a home run this season, and for like a split second, everything was right in the world. I'd just like to
Yes,
say that on this podcast.
Michael Harris did hit a home run this season. Yes,
Michael
he did.
Harris has been looking a lot better, and
He's
I
hit 4 of
love
them.
to see it. So,
Yeah.
Michael Harris has hit a home run this season. It is confirmed.
And confirmed.
serious.
Ryan, do you have anything?
He did have a good series.
Yeah,
Ryan,
we
do you
need the
have
boys
anything?
to show up.
yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. For everybody shit Austin Riley, he's been our most productive offensive player in this year's team, so get off his fucking dick. He's the only motherfucker who's shown up besides Ronald, thank you. And Ozuna for like the first, third of the year. Ozuna's gone MIA now. He's like 1 for 25 now. That's a fun
We'll
stat.
have that on them big jobs. Ben?
I'm gonna start watching the Augusta Green Jackets just because they're more fun than this fucking team.
I agree.
They have several guys on that team that are just really, really good and will be good pieces in the 4 to 5 years it's going to take them to reach the major leagues.
I can't believe
They have like 3
potential
guys already
World
that are
Series-
over 30 stolen bases.
I can't believe a potential World Series contending team is now talking about future pieces.
Well, the Augusta Green Jackets have like 3 guys who have over 30 stolen bases already.
I'll just go fuck
and they
myself,
got
it's okay.
another guy who's like 19. Yeah, please.
All right, Jeb, I'm out of here. My battery's dying.
and-
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, see you, Ryan. Pleasure you
Other
could
than
join
that,
us.
man, we'll hold out hope that the Braves can at least finish 500 this year.
I mean, you've
I'm
got
just kidding.
basically
They
your
keep the positivity out of them.
you've got your best 3 going, pretty much. Besides, I mean, you could interswap Holmes and Elder, in my opinion. You've got your best 3 going. You've got your stopper in Chris Sale, and I mean, he hasn't really done much stopping. Not much to his fault.
No detriment of his own.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they turn it around. Miller Park's a pretty good hitter's ballpark to hit in. I think Matt Olson's gonna go nuclear. I think Riley he'll go nuclear too. I'm gonna say your hitters to watch is gonna be Riley, Olson, and Murphy if Murphy gets the starts.
You done putting the hope back in me, man. I'm changing my answer. We're going 2 out of 3. Going 2
There
out of
we
3.
go. But I'm gonna say look out for those 3. But yeah, I guess we can end it there. I don't really have anything else to look out for or look forward to.
Throwing
Oh.
everybody off the raft.
Yeah, facts. Shout out to Kathy again. I think she's ending her baseball road trip. It's been a fun experience to look at Twitter and stuff. She's got to do a lot of fun stuff. Shout out to Marble Mouth. You fucking idiot. And then, shout out to all the listeners. If you're a new listener, returning listener, rate us, like, subscribe, comment, all that. Let us know how we're doing. And we appreciate y'all. We interact with y'all all the time. That's what we try to do here. We try to keep it light. We try to keep it funny. We don't try to be all uppity and just tell you bullshit. We try to keep it light, so. Yep. Well, I'm out of stuff if y'all don't have anything else.
Go Braves.
Let's go Braves, man. 1 for 3. 1 for 3.
There we go. There we go. We'll catch y'all in the next one.
Landed right on the shoulder.
Hawk tour.
Let's do it again.